What's up, everybody? I'm Crawford, and this is Movie Reviews with Crawford Norman, working title for Joe Today and Joe Magazine. Here I got my guest. What's your name, man?
My name is Jalil Campbell. How you guys doing? I'm an actor, assistant, film extraordinaire.
Thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for
No
seeing
problem.
the movie with me. We're going to jump right into it. The plot synopsis for Ant Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is here, and it's Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne, along with Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, explore the quantum realm where they interact with strange creatures and embark on an adventure that goes beyond the limits of what they thought was possible. IMDb. Very much, I feel like, explains it because a lot happens.
Yeah,
A lot happens.
It was crazy. It was honestly like it felt like two different movies.
Well, yeah, jumping into, I guess what we want to say, director and top billed cast. I mean, I feel like the person we're all thinking about is Jonathan Majors, for
That's
one.
what I'm thinking about.
We also got Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, and Michael Douglas. And really, I feel like Michelle Pfeiffer kind of stole the show for me,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Who was the director?
Director was, let's see, Peyton Reed.
Peyton Reed. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it looks like he also, I thought it was he. Oh, whole Ant Man trilogy.
Yeah, he did
directed
the
by
whole
him,
Ant-Man
which I feel like is rare for
No,
directors. Do they mostly do their trilogies?
no. James Gunn did all Guardians. Taika did. No, Taika.
No, he didn't.
No, Thor was, I feel like, more of a mess. So they were shopping around directors. I feel like if you have, I feel like they'll let you do, because Favreau did the first two Iron Men, all three.
I
think John Favreau did the Iron Man. I'm sure like generally. I just don't think it wasn't that. I don't know if John did, and then
Well, I guess speaking of overall directors, what do you think about the overall story from the whole trilogy? I mean, this is the 31st film in the MCU, the beginning of Phase 5, and the first Marvel film we've seen in Phase 5. So what are your thoughts on, I guess, where this sits in the whole and the trilogy?
Okay, so I'll go from how it sits in the trilogy. Because I really like the Ant-Man trilogy.
Okay.
Or the Ant-Man films. I like the first two. I really enjoyed how they were able to do such interesting set pieces with the whole shrink mechanic. I really liked the first one because they were just really exploring possibilities of fighting in these really strange places. I think it was the first or second one where they fought on a Thompson train set.
That's what I was thinking. I want to say
Or
the
the
first
briefcase. They're fighting the briefcase, and then there was an iPhone that was going off playing music, and it was this huge action scene in a briefcase.
Yeah.
And I always love those that kind of that sense of humor, those kind of gags where they would fight and then they would shrink something or enlarge something, and then it would just make this
like that building and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that. So I've always liked the Ant-Man films for that. How this sits in the trilogy of the Ant-Man films, it's I would say as an Ant-Man film, it's one of my least favorite.
Okay.
Because I think we did move away from what I think that I really enjoyed about Ant-Man. I enjoyed the shrinking. I enjoyed the heist aspect. I like the fact that he's kind of a low stakes villain, or not low stakes villain, a low stakes superhero who kind of just always did heists, and his always thing was I'm the thief guy, I'm the stealer, whatever. Kind of similar to how Spider-Man's always been known as the ground level superhero. He was another ground level superhero that handled relatively smaller things. We definitely jumped the gambit with this one, or jumped the shark.
Oh
with this
yeah, this is I think they said that in the press. This is supposed to be the Avengers level.
Yeah.
Ant-Man film.
Yeah.
And they even brought the family together to feel, I guess, in a way like the Avengers, even though the powers are similar, but a kind of Avengers level threat. Do you think that? So I kind of agree with you on that the charm of Ant-Man was the smaller aspects of it, and Paul Rudd, but now, honestly, I feel like this one is kind of taking that away from him. But I do want to get into more positives about the film itself. Now, we kind of talked a little bit about where it sits in the MCU, but what are your overall positive thoughts on the acting and different aspects of the movie?
No, I loved it. Though I say it's not one of my favorite Ant-Mans, it's only because I had an expectation of what I like from Ant-Man. But in terms of a standalone film and a superhero film, I thought it was a good time. I thought it was a fun time. It didn't top my list on one of my favorites, but it was super fun. The characters were super interesting. The comedy was really, really solid, and I think was a lot more consistent than I think some other Marvel movies have been.
Yeah, less quips. I was still a little quippy, but I'm so tired. If there's fatigue on anything, it's the quips. As long as it's not Thor: Love and Thunder, then I think I'm good.
Like, it was less quippy, but it had a lot more like heart. I think. Like, I always think.
Yeah.
I really think that one of the funnier jokes was the what was it? The shrink and jump or the jump and flick.
Yeah, where he's kind of teaching Cassie how to utilize, I guess, the powers and fight as an ant person.
Yeah, like how to try to teach her how to like be her own like ant person or like be the character she's meant to be, the hero she's meant to be. I thought those jokes were really funny. I like a lot of the like fish out of water humor type things that they would do being in this new environment. I know like when they first met the indigenous group of
they didn't stick too hard in my mind, so I don't remember.
Yeah, but the guy that had the slime or that.
Yeah, I was concerned with them holes.
Yeah. Like all the jokes were funny to me. I thought it was really funny, really fun. I do like the first act of the film. It was very like Star Wars-esque. It gave me like very New Hope-y vibes, very Tatooine-ish. How like
down to the costumes and everything.
Down to the costumes, down to the locales. Like most of it took place in like this weird like deserty kind of like remember I know like the whole when they got separated, when Paul Rudd and his daughter got separated from the Wasp and I'm forgetting names, blanking on names. But once they got separated, half of them were in like this indigenous tribe and the other one was like in a desert area. And then their story felt more like A New Hope when like you would see them going through the sands and then going to the bar. And then like it felt like a Mos Eisley type like cantina. Like it felt very.
It did.
And what's his name?
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's character.
I love his character.
Felt like a Jabba the Hutt type. So it gave me a lot of weird like Star Wars vibes. It felt like a completely different movie. And at that point, Kang wasn't even introduced like properly. So I was kind of like, wow, this is like, when does Kang come in? Because it feels so far removed.
That's true. Well, we'll get into Kang too because I was ready to lay into that. But I will say not what do we think because I know what I think about it. But the community in I guess the quantum realm, I want to say they're kind of forgettable. We're gonna move right into cons because I just have a lot on my heart today. But I think from seeing it at first, I really liked it. But now I've kind of got to think about it more, and it was high up on the list for me before, but now it's kind of lessened. Just because a lot of it felt forgettable, or maybe they threw so much at the wall that I didn't care about until Kang came on screen.
I think that was kind of like the biggest fault of the film. Like making it such a, because like all the commercials were like Jonathan Majors, Kang, big bad supervillain. So like when you get like the first like 30 minutes to like 45 minutes of the film and you don't see his face at all, and they literally played like the freaking pronoun game with him.
To a crazy extent where you think that even Bill Murray is the person they're talking about. Or when they introduce MODOK, that's who they're talking about. Yeah,
they do a lot of like he, him, the thems, like very much just like you don't want to make him angry. You don't want to, you're talking about him. No, not him. Like it was ridiculous, but I feel like they shot themselves in the shot. I mean, you get Jonathan Majors. He's like. Right now, I think it's 15 minutes, and you do put him forward in the commercials and the promotions, but then like in the film, what's the runtime on the film?
I gotta be 2 hours and some change.
Yeah, like 2 hours and change, and I would say it's on the top left. Like great.
Oh, 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Out of 2 hours and 4 minutes, I felt like a good I would say an hour you spend and not see him,
which kind of goes into again them. Not really feeling like the beginning of a Phase 5.
Yeah,
for me, I know you might feel this.
This session can go so far. It can go so long. I look at it. This is something that I've noticed watching a different project, but it's not related, so I'm not gonna bring it up.
Okay.
But it does feel that it's supposed to be more big picture, and I do see Kang being introduced. Because they have laid the groundwork beforehand. Now this is the final moment seeing him. I don't think they executed fully, but I do think, and we'll talk about at the end about the end credits scene. Unless we talk about it now.
I have one more thing before we jump to that, because I want to ask you about how you feel about Michelle Pfeiffer's actions in the beginning. Because you almost walked out the movie for that. So what was it before they go to the quantum realm and Cassie, who I also hate. We got a lot of thoughts to get through.
Hate.
What did Michelle do that you were just not feeling?
She does that thing. Michelle does that thing that they do in every movie, where it's like, hey, I am very knowledgeable in a certain thing. Like I have been living in so she's from the quantum. First, in the second movie, they take her back in the quantum realm, and they make it very clear that she's been in there for years, and she has aged, and she's lived a life there and knows so much about it. And the beginning of the movie, Cassie Lang is like messing around with the quantum realm. Like they're just playing around the quantum realm, and Michelle.
It's no big deal.
Michelle Pfeiffer, right?
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer, her character, fully knows about Kang, fully knows about his existence, fully knows that he's trapped there. But she knows his whole life story basically.
Honestly, yeah.
She knows his whole life story that he's a trapped Kang that needs to go back home. I mean, he's dangerous as hell. And she sees her granddaughter playing around the quantum realm, and is just like, oh well, we're gonna let it happen.
Because they say that she knew what they were doing. Like everyone knew, but Ant Man.
Yeah, and she didn't bother to say anything, tell anyone that like they're poking on the quantum realm, and she was just like, oh, well, I just didn't want to. I felt guilty. I felt ashamed. And then you find out why she's ashamed, and she's just ashamed that she helped Kang get to where he is. When it's like, you didn't know what he was doing. You didn't know who he was.
No, acted away. Honestly, that could have been a Disney Plus show in itself.
Yeah.
Watching around with Michelle.
Yeah.
I'd watch that. Her and Bill Murray messing around. Well, not messing around.
No, they were messing around.
Yes, but not that I want to watch that.
Oh.
Well,
no, I'm good.
No,
I'll pass.
Probably.
I'll pass.
Probably no. Shoot, moving. So I think now's the time to talk about Jonathan Majors, who I'm really becoming a big fan of. I mean, you got this Creed 3's right around the corner.
You're late.
You're
late.
I might be a little late.
I wanted it to be known. I've been on the Jonathan Major train. I've been on the Major train since like Lovecraft. Since Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Which I haven't seen.
That A24 film that I keep telling you to watch. I've been on that train since then. It'd be like stellar, phenomenal actor. I'm glad he's finally getting his roses and appreciation. But all of you are late. I've been here since the Last Black Man in San Francisco. And I just want you to all to know.
All right.
Day one. A1 since day one.
I'm sure Jonathan's watching this, so happy about
10 toes down. 10 toes down. You don't remember me, but we met.
So you like his performance, is what it sounds like.
Performance was great.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was menacing. I thought he was intimidating. I thought he was, I genuinely enjoyed his performance in, and this is referring to a different film, but a different show. But Loki? Yeah. I loved his performance in that film. Mm-hmm. And I do think that like as a different variant of Kang, he brought in that same ability, but with a different focus. But this Kang was so much more menacing, so much more terrifying, so much more like he always felt like a boiling pot.
Absolutely, I was definitely scared. I want to say almost like was it Gore from Thor? Yeah. Before that movie ended up kind of turning, but he kind of had some menace too that you didn't know what he might do from second to second.
But you felt like he'd crush everyone.
And he might have,
And honestly, it felt even worse because you see Ant Man, you're like he just shrinks and gets big, and then you see him fight, and you see him against Kang, some like cold, stoic, brooding character who seems to just be able to like crush you with a finger, literal twirl of a finger.
Yeah, and like the time
he just seems so menacing, and I just love like he did Jonathan Majors did a great job of just like illustrating Kang's like menace and Kang's like indifference towards humanity, indifference towards people, indifference towards life.
Yeah. He's all about his own means, for sure, what he wanted.
And it felt like anybody could die. Like anybody was no life was valued.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And then I think compared to the other actors, I would say the performances were good throughout.
All around,
all around. Definitely standouts for me. Where Scott is always. I think that's why. I mean, he carried the other films.
I mean, Paul Rudd's amazing. Like Paul Rudd's great. I love his character. He's super. I love this little father dynamic he has. Well, he always was a father, but being able to actually interact with. This is the first time we actually.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about him being a father to this girl. I don't know if it's my upbringing or what, but I just felt like she was so disrespectful. This man is the reason that Thanos was stopped, right?
Yeah.
And now Cassie has the nerve to say, "Well, what'd you do for me lately?"
You have a daughter.
That's what she said. She said, "Dad, you're a bum.
But you've lost one.
Bail me out of jail and don't be upset with me about it."
Yeah,
Wait, no, and then she was so quick to want to side with this community in the quantum realm.
well, she is a character. Like, she is a thing that we all.
Yes.
She is that super like woke, like young Gen Z, super politically active,
Idealistic.
Idealistic, wants to change the world, and like that is like who Cassie is to a T. And her dad is like, let's be real here. The dude's kind of a sellout.
Yeah.
He saved the world and never wrote a book about it.
And he never meant to be a superhero, he was a thief, right?
Yeah.
And so he has kind of had a transformation. So I can see that.
Not that I even think he's like evil or has bad
No.
intentions, but he's definitely like a sellout. And I think the show does the movie does a good job of like illustrating that, like, yeah, he got the bag after like saving the world. Like he like definitely turned his image around for financial benefit. And Cassie was upset because at the end of the day, like, I mean, you don't see what Ant Man does. We kind of don't see Ant Man do any crime fighting at all.
No, or really ever. I mean, he's kind of swept up in things a lot, and he's a good person, but he's no
like Peter Parker, or Spider Man, or like Captain America rolling around helping people. It seems like after the Avengers Endgame, like he was just like, all right, cause she lied with the book deal.
Yeah, I think that's actually kind of relatable because I can see a lot of people being put in this position and then turning around, not necessarily, maybe a bit of a sellout, not turning into a bad person, but like I am going to capitalize on this. I mean, you see Falcon is broke.
Yeah.
So.
But he definitely is. I do see Cassie's frustration, even though they do play it up as like the annoying daughter who just doesn't get how the world works. But she does have some like example. I guess that was a good like motif they did where she had intentions of. Scott was out for himself.
Yeah,
that's kind of it. He's out for himself on his own, trying to protect his family, trying to protect his people. He didn't care about the indigenous folk. He didn't care about really anybody else until he was kind of like made to care.
Well, it was like a crisis situation, right? They didn't mean to get down there. He's trying to get his family together, which they couldn't seem to really do until the end, and survive. Honestly, when she's trying to kind of pick up this mantle, so I can see it in both ways.
Yeah.
But I think we got to jump to the conclusion for sake of time. What do you think about like that third act, the whole revolt against Kang? So it was just it got kind of big, got a little bit messy.
Yeah.
And then like a literal, what is it? Deus Ex Machina at the end with the ants.
Wasn't a fan of the ending. I'm really kind of like, I mean, I didn't know how else they were gonna pull it off because there's no tangible way Ant-Man takes Thanos or takes Kang one-on-one, even a variant.
I'm surprised he did that well.
Yeah. So like, there's no way. So there was gonna have to be some type of like collective fight against him. Like it felt, again, another Star Wars feel. It felt like them attacking the Empire on all fronts. Like when what were they? When the rebellion and the Wookiee people, Wookiees.
The
Ewoks were When they were attacking in the forest, the Empire Station. It felt very much like that. And it felt very like, like Return of the Jedi. Very like we're fighting against this not this man. Kang never felt like a Kang was, of course, felt like an individual, but like in that moment, it kind of boiled down to like what felt like the rebellion and then the Empire.
Exactly. Maybe I felt more connected to that though, in terms of Star Wars, and maybe if we had spent more time with those people.
You don't know them. Yeah,
it was really kind of like just a comedy conversation, and then they left.
Which is why I feel so muddy at the end, because it feels like just like chaos, and you don't really have a dog in either fight. You just know you want Kang and Ant-Man to kind of like hash it out. You know Kang you want Kang to be defeated, but like it just felt so like messy at the end.
Yeah, really kind of messy. Almost like a lot of what was happening didn't matter. It didn't matter whether. Well, I kind of thought Kang was going to win.
Yeah, a part of me, I genuinely thought Kang was going to win. We're gonna have our Infinity War Part 2, where it's like,
maybe, or maybe you see that now these people lose sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, the ants killed him.
Yeah.
Ants took him away. I guess we'll see what happens.
Who lived billions of years in like minutes.
Yeah. And then Michael Douglas just explained that when they did that, they created some kind of
technology.
superior technology utopian society. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's ants.
Yeah, it
right?
was, again, fun movie. Don't think too hard.
I mean, it is fun on screen. It's fun for families. I guess we haven't decided. Again, this is my first time doing a review, but are we going to do numbers? We're going to do ratings?
I don't know, why not? 1 through 5?
I like 1 through 5.
If I had to give it 1 through 5 stars, I'm gonna give it a solid 4.
Solid 4.
4, 3.5. 3.5.
I'm hovering right at 3.5. Maybe I'll say no. I feel like it's a solid in the middle. Honestly, like not gonna be concerned about this next year.
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff.
I think it was a solid watch, fun watch. Fun way to introduce Kang, fun way to bring him into the world.
Yeah.
Didn't seem too crazy. But it wasn't like offensive. Like I didn't hate it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So 3.5 is like where I'm sitting, where it's like it was a watch. I didn't regret watching it, but like will it go down in my top 5, top 10?
No, definitely. Probably, I would say maybe my least favorite Ant Man and the Wasp movie.
Oh yeah, my least favorite,
but not by a whole lot. Not by a whole lot. I wouldn't say this is bad too. I would definitely go with the solid 3 out of 5. Yeah. Well, thanks, Jalil.
No problem.
For coming in and reviewing the movie with me. It should be a lot of fun. We'll do a couple more, right?
Oh yeah. This was a great time. So I would love to do more. Maybe Creed this week.
Maybe Creed this week. I don't know. I'm kind of excited. I'm really loving, like you said earlier, all the black men love.
Yeah, I'm loving this.
Gotta support. Even though I need to watch the second one. So
okay, well,
movie night and then Creed 3.
Well, we will see you guys later. Crawford has some research to do for the next Creed. But thank you guys for watching with us, and we hope to see you guys again.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.